Restart that.
What the What's up, everyone? I'm Justin with Is It Scary Wisconsin. Of course, I'm joined here by my man. Maybe if we could get the intro right, more people would watch these videos. Who are we kidding? They're never going to take our videos seriously. But anyway, yeah.
You give us a year off. This is what fucking happens.
Thanks, COVID.
This is what.
Anyway, welcome to 2021's hot season. And we started things off with a visit to what I guess I'm going to say is a Green Bay tradition. Terror on the Fox.
Definitely is.
From 13th Floor Entertainment. A good friend of mine runs the place. And we actually have a few friends that work there, which is very cool. And we'll actually talk about how that can kind of play into things from time to time as we get into the review. But we're going to break the event down from top to bottom. We're not going to give you any spoilers. We might talk about our favorite parts of the event, but we will not give any details or anything like that away because I know the owner would appreciate, obviously, that we not do that.
Of course.
And, you know, I mean, the whole point of going to a haunted house is to go to the haunted house to experience the haunted house, not what somebody else has experienced. So let's talk about it. We what do we get? What do we arrive? Like 8:45, I'd say.
8:45.
Yeah,
that time. Yeah.
8:45. We arrived. They are requiring. I actually like this. They're requiring guests to wear masks during the indoor portions of the event.
Train included. Just throwing it out there.
Yep. Train and the house, you are required to wear a mask.
The forest is not.
Yep, the forest you are not required to wear, which is nice because you're outdoors. You get to actually take in the smells. It's nice.
Exactly, yeah.
But that being said, so, you know, we got there. We were able to buy our tickets on site, which was awesome. The price per admission after tax was $27 for general admission. We got in line. We got right on the train, which was nice.
Right on there. Right
yeah, the wait times early in the season like this are awesome because they're not backed up, which is fantastic. We got on the train, and so we're going to start with the train. Lights go out, music comes on, and this year, unlike last year, there were actors. Gage, give us your thoughts.
I've noticed previously it was obviously misty, but COVID. Before they had like no lights. It was just a flashing
just a strobe light.
They probably kept that on because they want to ensure that people want to make sure they're wearing masks and stuff because people can hide not doing it because they're really serious about it. I'm just letting you know, guys, they are serious, so keep your mask on. Don't try to be slick and stuff. What I think about the train for what they have at the time, because you gotta be real. They can't do much with the train itself. It is donated from not donated, but it's allowed to use from the National Railroad Museum.
Yep.
For what they have to do with it, it's decent. Yeah. We have some pointers on it. I think Justin wants to go ahead and touch on what he thinks they could probably add to that, make it a bit better.
Well, here's the thing. Look, right, the train. If you've been to Terror on the Fox before, you know what the train's going to be. Again, unless you're under extreme COVID restrictions like we were last year, you know what to expect on the train. You're going to sit there. You're going to ride to the next place. There's going to be some actors on the train, and they're going to mess with you. First thing I want to say is the actors that they have on the train belong on that train. Phenomenal. They are awesome.
They were really good.
Very animated, very into what they do. So to all the management there at Terror on the Fox, make sure that you give kudos to the people working on the train. They did a fantastic job. They're in character. They never broke character. And they were just awesome. One thing I'd like to see when the train arrives, I don't know how they'd pull it off. I don't know if they could even pull it off. You need to have one crazy scare because nobody's expecting it anymore. I think we're past the point of expecting it.
Yeah, once that train stops, you're just like,
it's like the lights come up and you're done, right? Like there should be somebody designated that's at the stop that comes up on the train and just goes absolutely apeshit.
Maybe through the back of it. I don't know. I
don't care. I don't give a crap what they do. I don't care how they get on that train, but they should just go absolutely apeshit before the people get up.
Possibly use a loud mechanism. Now, I'm not saying chainsaw. We talked about that because they don't want to get scuff marks on the
and we did talk about that. And I was actually, I think I mentioned that too. I was like, why doesn't somebody come on here with a chainsaw and just start banging it around this train? You're like, oh, well, it's because it's donated. And I'm like, oh, shit. So they really can't do that.
Doing it that way, though, there are noisemakers that do not create, marks on any kind of surface, whatever.
Yeah, but
like a screwdriver with a cup on it or something like that.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking to myself, like maybe they don't bring the lights up right away. Maybe the train just like jerks to a stop, and that's when you get the big scare. Like that'd be the perfect place for that. That's
Maybe
my
like
only
loud sound system, like
whatever. That's my only real criticism for the train this year. You know, obviously, again, last year with the COVID restrictions, it was very difficult for me to even critique the train because
it just wasn't fair.
They couldn't.
It really wasn't fair.
They literally couldn't do anything with it. So I'm just like, whatever.
It's a good thing we didn't review like for the last year because it's not fair. It really wasn't.
I will tell you this: Terra and the Fox last year with what they had to work with was actually very good. Mm-hmm. So I know you probably didn't expect me to say that, but it was very good.
I wasn't there.
It was very good. I was there. It was very good. But yeah, the train. I would say that's really the only place they have to improve, because otherwise, you know what's coming. You know what to expect. That's my one gripe about the train. I need to have like one super scare right at the end of that train where I'm just like, oh shit, this is happening. Like this is really happening.
Maybe
like
someone in the woods.
Whatever. I don't care. Whatever. Because we were talking about that too. Because you walk from the train, you walk down like this dark path. And it's dark too. Mm-hmm. Like it's dark.
Someone can hide there.
Like there's multiple opportunities for actors there, and I know during the season and stuff, and when they're busy, I know they usually have some people walking back and forth. But there is a great opportunity to have a stationary actor or like one or two stations there with an actor to scare the living shit out of people. Mm-hmm. And like the opportunity is there, and when I don't see that opportunity taken, especially on opening weekend, I gotta point it out at the very least. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, the train was great this year. Again, actors are animated, they're energetic, they're into what they're doing, and I love that. And that's one thing that Terra and the Fox, for all my grapes in the past and for all the things I've been able to say, that's one thing Terra and the Fox has always done well. Their actors are very much into what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And that's really important. We talk about that with Revenge, we talk about that with Green Bay Fury, and we talk about that with Terra.
Especially with hiding drinks and beverages as well.
Yeah, we didn't see, I don't think we saw a single one this year.
No, we did not.
Hey, 10 points to Gryffindor. Anyway, let's talk about...
yeah.
Our favorite thing to bitch about. The Mausoleum, the attraction they still haven't done a damn thing with. Look, I know Terra and the Fox. I know the crew over there worked their asses off to build that mausoleum.
And it's very aesthetically pleasing. It's great looking.
It's gorgeous. Really? Now the papers are going to fall. Cool.
I'm going to
anyway,
move the chair and
I'm just done.
sit like this.
So the Mausoleum, right? Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. Having the one actor in the graveyard is fine because, like we talked about, the actors are so into their job. They are so good at going from corner to corner to corner that the one actor doing the three scares doesn't seem like one actor. Mm-hmm. They're all over the place.
They're also fun and interactive.
Yeah, and they interact with you. It's great.
When we're taking photos, I'm dancing to some music, and she was dancing with me. It was adorable.
Yeah, it's like it's that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
and it's that kind of interaction that makes Terra and the Fox a really fun haunt, a really fun event, a really fun night out with friends. So. My gripe about the Mausoleum is this. You go through the graveyard, you have the actor in the graveyard, and then you come and walk through the Mausoleum, and it's literally nothing. And they have multiple places in that Mausoleum that there could be an actor. Like, I've been through it so many times now, I'm like, could be an actor there, could be a trapdoor there, could be standing there, could be behind this window, and it's never there. And I'm just like, why not? Because there's so much opportunity there. Mm-hmm. There's so much scare opportunity there that I just feel like it's a miss. And if terror management ever sees this, you guys got to put somebody in that mausoleum. Otherwise, it just feels like a dead walkthrough. It just feels like empty space.
It really does. It's a lot of wasted resources.
Now, before anybody thinks that, well, what about the woods, right? How can you say that about the mausoleum, but then not complain about the woods?
There's not much to complain about the woods.
Here's the thing, right? When we first talking about haunted houses, I think
2018.
Yeah, well, it was even before that because
17.
Because my brother and I actually did a few reviews on the old channel when you and I were still YouTubing together. Yeah, before I stabbed you in the back and all that good stuff. Anyway, I remember way back then. I remember making a couple comments and saying, "Hey, they really should have a woods section because it feels like it's just."
They used to have that slaughterhouse kind of thing. That's
Yeah,
right.
they did, right? And then they took that down. They had the mausoleum, and then they had all that extra space. And it was just like a straight walk up through the woods to the house. And I was like, why is there
You
not
have a lot of wood space?
why is there not like a path through the woods?
So they did, and that's which I'm glad they did.
So now they built this path through the woods. So we get out of the mausoleum. Behind the mausoleum, right as we walk out, there's an actor.
Yeah, he's
perfectly placed, totally motionless. Wasn't even sure if it was a real actor at first. And then they come to life. And they're animated, and they're into their job, and it was freaking awesome. And right away, bam, I'm back into like the haunted house mode. I'm like, oh, yeah. I was just walking through an empty, boring building. No offense, it's beautiful, but it's boring. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, now we're back into haunt mode. Here we go. So here we interact with this actor, come around a few corners, interact with another actor, couple sound. I mean,
they got me good on a few of them too.
And they did.
Honestly, the woods is the only thing that really scared me through that whole attraction. The woods. Because what was it? That loud sound system? That's the best. What?
Here's the thing, though, dude. Right? Like, how many sharp corners and dark, like, back alleyways in that woods are there to scare you with? There's a lot.
Oh, there's a lot.
And that's why it works so well.
Some of it's natural, and some of it is like obviously the lights that they have. But like, say for example, the best part about the woods is that it's always quiet. I feel like a lot of haunted houses these days overlook that. Quiet is a great thing. Like, say, a woods walk and shit like that, they have, like, a loud sound system earlier. What was it? Scare the heck out of me?
Yeah, it was motion triggered.
Yep, exactly.
There was no actor this year. There was an actor with it last year that jumped out. It was awesome, but there was no actor with it this year, and it still got you.
It still got me.
More than it got me, but, then again, I'm 5 paces behind you, too, so... But, let's talk about that. You talk about using sound or lack of sound to really create an atmosphere.
Exactly.
That is something that they do so well with the woods walk at Terror and the Fox, and I really like it.
I just noticed something. They had 0 chainsaws.
None. I thought they did a pretty good job.
I don't know if that's a lack of personnel at the maybe.
I don't know. I don't.
It's not required.
Because here's the thing: they didn't have any this year, but in years past, I felt like they used too many.
You got to have a medium in that point.
You got to have at least one dude swinging a chainsaw at some place. But anyway, it's okay. So, let's go into that for a second then. Lack of sound. You're in the woods. It's just a quiet walk. You're with your group, and the actors, they move from point to point to point. They hit the dark corners. They get you with their scares. There's some nice tight spaces. Nothing too crazy. Mm-hmm. There's some like weird, some uneven ground. Like I like how they work with that, and I thought that was really good. And that is something that I've been saying about the woods since they put it in a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. You guys are absolutely killing it with that walk through the woods. It's so freaking good. The lighting is awesome.
Yeah.
The sounds, or lack thereof, awesome. Again, I gotta give credit to the actors. Animated.
Like 3 or 4 actors to that whole area, and they stuck with us. And they even knew us. I don't know.
Well, okay, how many times are you going to do a video like this or talk to people or know people that work there and not have somebody call you by name?
It's still awesome. I highly encourage that. And let me just also go ahead and throw out here, use communication. I believe that's exactly what they did. In haunted houses, what they did was one of them must have knew us, and they must have told the next one, be like, hey, this is so-and-so, Gage and Justin.
Yeah, whatever.
Move on with that. That's incredible, and communication is key, and that was great.
And I've been saying it throughout the review. The actors, they are so into what they do, and that is something
they have a passion for. It.
And it's something I got to give them credit for at Terror and the Fox, and I'm going to keep saying it throughout this review. They absolutely nail it. That aspect, the actors aspect of Terror and the Fox, is a 10 every single year. Mm-hmm. Really impressive.
Right.
Again, but I want to give credit where it's due. Woods, at the end of the day, for
That's
me,
the one.
My favorite part of Terror and the Fox. I love it. I'm sure if it was really freaking cold outside or raining, I'd probably hate it. But very well done, well lit. They made good use of their corners. The scares are great. And even some of the actors that were like right out in the open were like, if you were really looking, you could have seen them. They were so motionless. I was like, oh, it's just part of the set. And then you walk up to them and like they just lift their head and they're like, roar! And I'm like, oh my God. So it was really good. I liked it. Woods is awesome. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the house.
Good at it. So let me go ahead and also add the intro The music was a bit too loud. I couldn't hear the guy that was talking. I don't know if you noticed it, but I did the whole. What was that?
What did you say? Listen, I'm not young like the Zoomers coming here these days. I'm a bit old. Anyway, look, dude, let's be real. All right, they've always had loud music outside of the house. I feel like it's kind of just part of it. There are some things in the Terror on the Fox house that are creepy as shit.
I'm going to tell you what, when I'm not going to say where, but it was a spider room. When we were about to walk into it, you notice I stepped back?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
I saw a spider move from up there. I'm like, no.
So they do a really good job. Is it the scariest haunt in Wisconsin? Not by any means. Not by any means. Does that mean it's bad? No.
There's also story. I don't think much story. It's just more of like, scenery and stuff. But it's aesthetically pleasing. It's actors who obviously love what they're doing.
I will tell you this. Good. The house is one of the best looking and most well-maintained haunt attractions in the state.
Now, they changed a lot. Now, I didn't go last year, so I don't know how much they changed but from 2019 to 21, there were quite a few rooms that seemed like they had that large... Like, I would say at least 15 feet up in the 15-foot, ceiling. It's just like all the skulls in the walls and stuff. That, I don't know what room how to call that, but that was good. We had plenty of rooms that they obviously changed up and added. I love it.
Or moved and switched up. Yeah, it's one thing I like about the Terror on the Fox house is that it is such an awesome interior that you kind of want to, I almost wish that my contact there would just let me come walk through it with the lights on, because it's beautiful. I mean, it's so well done, and it's
call me up for that. I love that too. It's really good.
So it's very creepy, and again, the rooms that have actors, the actors killed it. Mm-hmm. Very animated, and remember, this is only the second night of the season. I know they've had run-throughs. I know they've had whatever. They've had little team meetups and stuff to kind of get everybody caught up to speed and everything. But this is really their second live night. And I remember years past where I came on here and I was like, this was terrible. This was boring. This was not what it needed to be. And I'm coming on here this year with you and I'm like, well, shit, it was a lot of fun. And this is only the second night of the season. I can just imagine at full capacity how awesome it'll be. I was very impressed. I was pleased. Again, we didn't have to sit there for an hour and a half waiting in line, hating our lives. We go earlier in the season because we want to get, what was it at the start of the season? And then we usually go mid-season or 3/4 of the way through the season to kind of see where they've improved and what they've worked on. Because that's one thing as a haunt actor that you can do is as your season progresses and as you see what does and what doesn't work with scares, you can kind of modify that and work on that. And it gives you a chance to kind of build your character. And I really like that. And I like to see the changes and I like to see the way they do things differently as the season goes on. Mm-hmm. So, Gage, overall, give me your thoughts one more time. General, Terror on the Fox.
General, Terror on the Fox, opening weekend.
Yeah, opening weekend.
Opening weekend. I feel like they underestimate it, but I get it because there wasn't much of a turnout, at least from when we went.
Yeah. There were people there, but it wasn't like oh my god, this is so busy.
Like you gotta buy VIP if you want to at least actually.
Otherwise, you're gonna wait for 3 hours. It wasn't like that.
Not at all.
It wasn't like that.
So I get it why they don't have many actors, but I just felt like for as big of a tradition is for Green Bay, it just felt like there wasn't very many people for a $27 purchase. It's a fair critique. I mean, you're not out of line. I don't think. Because the thing is, why would I spend like this now for $27 and get I would say 70% of what the full experience is? And if I go the same way, say mid-year, mid-haunt season, say like October, even like Halloween weekend, same price or even a weekend before, but getting on to the point, when they have more actors on staff ready to go, mm-hmm. and then you still pay the same price, and then you got the better, fuller experience. Like, if I have to say, if you want to go to Terror on the Fox, at least so far, you're better off going mid-season or mid to late season, because the beginning weeks, it just lacklusterly, it's just empty. And
you feel like there aren't as many actors.
and you don't get as much bang for your buck because 27, I feel is a bit steep, but I get it.
Yeah.
It's not large. It's not like I'm thinking like, oh gosh, I got
Well,
to
$50. Jeez, I got to skip my next meal for this. But
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not
$27 is a lot. It is
It's
a lot of money.
It's a lot of money though for something that you could get a better dollars worth if you go later in the season. So note that, guys. If you're gonna go, I recommend to go later.
Well,
Unless if you want a shorter wait, I mean, then go
Wait,
earlier.
well, then sometimes you got to take the trade-off too. Well, remember, a lot of people watching this video, well, should I go, should I not go, are going to be going mid-season anyway.
All right. Well, I mean, then you're worth.
Then you're probably going to be fine, right?
We're probably going to be going mid-season, maybe even doing following up reviews as well. So,
yeah,
but
I always try to.
let's just cut to the chase here. Is it scary?
I mean, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was scary. I'm a solid 8 out of 10 in Terror on the Fox.
8 out of 10?
Yeah, and when I was coming home, I was like, am I a 7? Am I 7.5? I was like, no, I'm an 8. I actually genuinely had fun tonight. And if you ask me, Justin, would you go with me again next week? I say, yeah, I'd go again. Like, I had that kind of fun. Mm-hmm. Which I have not been able to say that about Terror in the years past. And I've even at times in the past messaged my contact there, and I was like, hey, dude, you guys really stepped it up this year. It was good. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually going to message him again and say, I was really impressed. I'll echo you with what you're saying. I think $27 per admission, I think it is expensive.
For now.
For
this time period.
I think it's expensive. But I also think when you really look at the whole event, right? You get the train ride. You get the mausoleum, the graveyard, and the woods. You get the house, the photo. You have the experience. Do I really think it's that terrible and that egregious? No, I don't.
Goodness, no.
No, I don't. Does it sometimes feel like there's lack of actors in certain areas? Sure. But you can make that complaint about almost any haunted house if you really get nitpicky. Oh, there should have been an actor there. There should have been an actor there. Like, you can really go over the top sometimes. Was I disappointed when I walked through tonight? No. Would I have liked to have seen 3 or 4 more actors? Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
I want to add, we should add in our segment, do we have an MVP actor that we can say is the best? I think we should start doing that. That'd be fun.
God, MVP actor.
I feel my MVP actor are more of actors. It's got to be that Woods people. Like, they communicated. You could tell they're all on it. Another good shout out. There was a devil character that was following us.
Just followed us in total silence, and then then disappeared, and then was following us again,
and then reappeared.
And then disappeared, and then was following us again.
We had a group ahead of us that was slow, and he went up to him and be like, get a move on, or something like that, because it ruins it for us because we had a slow crew and we had people behind us at that point.
And I'm just like sitting there, I'm like, guys, like, come on, push your girlfriends ahead of you, let's go.
Right.
Like, get a move on. Like, shut up.
Anyways, shout out.
Stop acting for free hugs.
The devil one, my MVPs gotta be the ones in the forest.
Yeah.
Your MVP actors. God. You can be mine. It doesn't just because I said it was mine.
Honestly. When did we go? We went the second Saturday they were open. Mm-hmm. Or the first Saturday they were open.
First Saturday.
Yep. Opening weekend Saturday.
Second day.
The 2 actors that worked the train between 8:45 and 9:30 on the first Saturday they were open, the second day of the season, are my 2 MVPs.
Your 2 MVPs?
They were obnoxiously awesome.
Okay.
I mean that in the best way. They were fantastic.
My rating for this year? Had to give it a 7.
Okay. That's fair. Fair.
You give it an 8?
I give it a solid 8.
I gotta say 7.
Okay.
But it's not bad. It's a good attraction. I should have gone later in the season, and maybe I'll give it a better review for my follow-up one. But that is my thoughts.
I want you to go later in the season because we went later in the season last year, and even with COVID restrictions, I walked out of there and I looked at my 2 friends. I was like, "Holy shit, guys, that was really good." Mm-hmm. Even with the restrictions. So, like, I'm expecting even greater things from them.
They're doing good for what they're working with. You gotta give them that.
Yeah, and they have a lot of room to grow, and I know they have some new actors there this year too. And even for it being like their second night doing the haunt, you know who you are. You did very good. Yeah, I was very impressed. And I got to give it a solid recommendation this year. Is it scary? Yeah, I think it's scary, and I think it's
worth a stop.
Here's the thing, right? We talk about this all the time. And you and I, when you dropped me off tonight, what did I say to you? I'm like, you're going out with your friends. You stop off at the Terror on the Fox. It's a fun night out. It's a fun haunted event. It's a good time. It's a safe time. It's secure. They have security guards. It's
very secure.
They're taking care of their guests. They're taking care of their actors.
I forgot to mention that. They
don't mess around. And you know what? I like that. I felt safe and I felt welcome too. Right? Like it was a good time. If you ask me, Justin, would you go again? I say yes.
Yes, definitely. This is the kind of, I would almost call it a Green Bay tour. You
gotta hit Terror on the Fox.
You gotta hit Terror on the Fox, and then you can hit Green Bay Fear.
Yeah.
And if you have some time to squeeze it in, go north and go to Sobieski.
You gotta hit Revenge. You gotta hit all three of the big ones. But you know what? Terror on the Fox, like if you're in the Green Bay area and you're wondering, I need something to do on a Friday or Saturday night in October, you gotta go to Terror on the Fox. I recommend it. I'm gonna assume you recommend it.
Definitely.
I'm Justin with Is It Scary?
And it's scary.
We'll see you right here next time.